So I'm interested in your research on lighting sources. So tell me, what was the aim of your research?
So I was, tired of being in different office spaces with, inconsistent lighting, or being in class with violent light and just making me have a headache at the end of the day. I originally started off, I was in an office building that had a corner office that was completely glass, all the two walls, and then the other walls were, just normal walls. And so when you were closer to the actual wall, it seemed to be inconsistent with the natural light outside. So what I wanted to do was replicate the natural light that was coming from those windows into the back of the room where it wasn't reaching. And so I was able to do that by getting these lumen sensors and RGB sensors. And for example, if this side was closest to the window, this portion will be dimmer than this portion, which will be brighter, so that is a uniform lighting within the room. That solves the office situation. Now the school situation is I personally like the natural light. I like to be outside, but sometimes you can't, as in going to school, going to work, unless you work outside, of course. And recess was the best time because I had that natural light. So what it does is it takes the natural light RGB color and lumen value and replicates it within the classroom. Of course, if it's acceptable. If it's a dim day outside, it goes to be in a normal light, but if it's nice, bright, and sunny outside, it replicates it within the classroom into the office space and anywhere where this is implemented. Of course, this isn't just that. You can do it as a normal light, you can have multiple different colors, you can do anything with it.
So how would you summarize the results and conclusions of your research and what you envision going forward for your findings?
Yeah, so the results were pretty simple. Like I said, I was using Python to create the program that would take the RGB value from the sensors and put it into a microcontroller, which will then send it out to the light itself. And the goal of having the smaller scale project is because I was really also focusing on power consumption. A normal LED light within a classroom ranges between 30 and 60 watts. Well, I want to do PoE, and PoE is power over Ethernet, to hopefully get the lights to be from 5 to 15 watts, which cuts it nearly in half. Of course, I don't know if that's applicable yet. It works with Raspberry Pis and Arduinos, but I don't know about full-scale lights. So it was really small scale. This is still conceptual. I was able to get it with a Charlie Pix Feather Wing LED board and a Raspberry Pi and a couple microcontrollers. And that got it to work. And since I wasn't able to get an RGB sensor itself, or a light bar itself, I was only able to do the color compensation, but I wasn't able to do the actual natural light, and I hope to be able to start that soon. Still very early stages. I hope to implement a lot more. I hope for it to be able to be adaptable to any industry, medical, education, manufacturing, you name it. I would like this light to be there, and I think it will revolutionize how we do work. It might be something small to a lot of people, but then when you are in that natural light all the time, it'll change your mood and how you feel about your work, and maybe it won't feel like you're in just an absolute, hospital all the time. And especially if you work in a hospital, then it'll feel a lot better. But the goal is large, the project is small, but the hope is even larger.